Traditional methods for recoating a gym have always included some sort of abrasion of the old coating prior to applying the fresh coat. This process was costly for several reasons: buying screens, cleaners, and it required 2 coats of water-based finish to cover the screen marks. In addition, the screening process created a lot of dust throughout the gym and sometimes in the adjacent school areas. This dust would require a cleaning crew to be employed after the gym was finished. Today, using the Tykote process for coating gyms, you get a faster job at less cost, and your gym can be put back into play the next day. There's no dust generated with the Tykote recoating method, so no cleaning crew is required for dust removal after the job is done. As there are no screen marks to cover, in most cases only 1 coat of street shoe top coat is required for protection of the floor. Using 1 coat of street shoe as the top coat will give a full year's protection in all but the highest wear gyms. For those high wear situations, a coat of street shoe can be applied in the high traffic areas before putting a coat over the whole gym, or 2 coats may be applied over the whole gym. There is a 5-step process that is quick and easy. Number 1, clean the floor with IFT cleaner, mixed 1 part of cleaner with 4 parts of water. 2, run a clear water rinse. 3rd, clean with squeaky cleaner, mixed 1 part of cleaner with 4 parts of water. 4th, apply Tykote with a rayon string mop. And 5, apply the street shoe gloss finish with the standard water-based application methods. In this video, we will demonstrate all these steps while we coat this gym. Before beginning this project, you'll need the following equipment: scraper for gum or other hard debris, a plastic spray bottle for pre-cleaning with IFT solution, broom, vacuum, or dust mop for pre-cleaning the floor prior to cleaning. We need a small auto scrubber with new squeegee and good cleaning heads. New scrubbing pads need to be mounted on the auto scrubber. The type and color of the pads used will be determined by the condition of the floor. Make sure your power cords are non-marking if the scrubber requires the cords. Make sure the battery is charged if it is a battery-operated scrubber. Mop bucket with wringer and mops for cleaning edges and corners. A second clean bucket with new mop heads for applying Tykote. This bucket and wringer cannot have any detergent or wax residues in the bucket. It must be new or very clean. It can be lined with a trash bag in a pinch. The mop heads must be lint-free, made from rayon, and new or freshly laundered. Water-based application tool with new cover for the water-based top coat. Pour can for the finish. Mixing sticks for the catalyst. If an auto scrubber cannot be used, then the gym floor needs to be done by hand, so you'll need white towels, 1 for every 500 square feet of the gym. Note that these can be laundered between gyms. Push brooms to push the towels over the floor. Hand tools, razor knife, screwdriver, and 9/16 wrenches to assemble the applicator. This is a fast process, approximately 5 hours to complete this 15,000 square foot gym floor. Before we start the Tykote process, the gum and other hard debris must be removed from the floor, and the floor needs to be vacuumed or swept to remove any grit that can catch in the pads and scratch the finish. Use the scraper on the hard debris before the sweeping process. While the gym is being scraped and inspected, have a spray bottle filled with 1 part IFT to 4 parts water and spray all black marks, dirt, or other hard-to-remove contaminations. Let this pre-soak until the auto scrubber is run on the floor. While the floor is being cleaned of grit, prepare the auto scrubber for making the first cleaner pass. Select the correct pads for the machine and mount under the auto scrubber. If the scrubber had other products in the tank, rinse out the water before adding our solution to the tank. Pour the IFT into the tank. This tank has a 10-gallon capacity, so we're adding 2 gallons of IFT, and then we fill the tank with water. This will be 1 part of IFT to 4 parts of water, as we recommend. Once the auto scrubber is ready, start cleaning the floor. Go back and forth until the entire floor has been done. While the auto scrubber is working the center of the floor, the edges and corners, and any place the auto scrubber cannot reach, must be cleaned by hand. Do not leave any puddles during the cleaning process. After cleaning the entire floor, dump the dirty water and refill the tank with clean water. Then rinse the floor with the clean water. This is a step that cannot be skipped. You must rinse between the cleaners. The IFT is a strong cleaner that can affect the coatings if there are residues left on the floor. The floor must be clear water rinsed. Be sure to clear water rinse the edges and corners by hand that the auto scrubber won't reach. Dump the rinse water and add the squeaky cleaner to the tank. Use the same mix ratio of 1 part cleaner to 4 parts water that was used for the first pass. This will be the final pass with the auto scrubber. It is not necessary to dry the floor completely, but don't allow puddles to sit on the floor. They must be mopped up so they can flash dry. Pour enough Tykote to coat the gym into a clean mop bucket and place the new lint-free rayon cover on the mops. Tykote is smoothly mopped onto the floor in a thin, even application. It is the best application method we have found to date. Any regular coating applicator will apply the Tykote too heavily. We want to apply at the rate of 2,500 to 4,000 square feet per gallon of Tykote. A 7,500 square foot gym will use only 3 gallons of Tykote at the heaviest and use less than 2 gallons if properly applied. Once the Tykote has been applied, it must dry for 1 hour with good ventilation. During this drying time, we can prepare the applications and finish for the coating operation. Use a heavyweight applicator for the street shoe commercial finish in a gym. Bolt the handle to the outside of the swivel. Slide a new cover onto the applicator. Rock the finish 6 or 8 times back and forth to mix in the flow and leveling agents that can float to the top as the finish sits in a warehouse. Completely remove the top from the container and stir the finish while slowly adding the catalyst. Continue to stir a few minutes after all the catalyst has been added. Snap the lid back on the container and pull up the pour spout right away. This will let you know that you've mixed the catalyst into the finish if you have many containers on the job. You can also mark the container with a magic marker, but if so, do it where the finish will not dissolve the black ink and run into the finish. Also, allow to sit for a minimum of 10 minutes before using the mixed finish. The floor is now ready to coat. From the 5-gallon container of mixed finish, fill the pour bucket. Pour a long puddle on the floor, 4 boards in from the starting wall. The puddle should extend full length of the gym and stop short about 3 feet from the ending wall. With the assembled applicator, walk the edge and carefully coat the floor up against the wall. As you walk along the wall, the finish is applied and the puddle moved over the width of the applicator. When you get near the end of the run, make a half turn and squeeze out the excess in line with the puddle. Use the applicator to feather out the end of the turn. Do this carefully so no excess foam is generated, nor do you splash drips out onto the finished portion of the floor. We continue to walk the applicator back and forth and apply finish to the gym. One man walks the applicator and another mixes finish and pours the finish into the puddle line to keep it wet across the gym. When we get about 10 feet from the exit wall, we need to reduce the amount of finish in the puddle, so we run the line dry about 2 to 3 feet from the wall. The gym will be finished out by working our way down the wall, pouring a small puddle and working it onto the surface. Squeeze out the excess and feather the application back out over the coated area. Keep the applied area under 3 feet in length or it gets hard to feather with the heavy applicator. The final application at the doorway and we are done on this 15,000 square foot gym. It took 5 hours to finish this floor completely. This floor can be put into use tomorrow. It should dry overnight with the ventilation running. The Tykote process is the single best method of recoating a gym today. It is fast, sure, wears well, and best of all, it doesn't require a post-job cleanup. There are a few gyms that can't use the Tykote system, but most can if the cleaning process is varied slightly. If the gym has a lot of wide cracks where the water can get under the floor, or if the floor is less than 2 years old, ask our local representative to recommend an appropriate cleaning method. When done right, the Tykote process is the best and most economical way to maintain high-quality gyms in your school system today. The Tykote system for beautiful gym floors. Ask your basic coatings distributor about the Tykote system today.